We're Dropout Kings.
And we're blowing it up on Capital Chaos TV.
Hey.
Yeah.
These secret passages for a society of savages indulging in maniacal madness. Flaming rain and growth pains overcast my path again, killing me soft.
You guys are on tour with OTEP, is that correct?
Yep. And Ragdoll Sunday right now on this leg of the tour.
And this is your first time in Sacramento?
Yeah, it is actually.
Super hype.
Where you guys? You guys are from Arizona?
Yeah, Phoenix,
Arizona.
Cool. And you have a new album that drops when?
It dropped 2 days ago on August 10th.
How
Called
excited?
Audio Dope.
How excited are you about that release?
Really excited. It's our first album, so we're stoked to see the reaction and everything. But it's been received well so far.
And you have 2 videos on the YouTube.
3 actually, yeah. But yeah, the Going Rogue, Scratch and Claw, and then Nevermind are the 3 singles.
And I looked at you're gonna get about 45,000 views per video. Is that right?
2 videos are at 100,000, and then one of them's at like 79,000 or so.
I think
On Facebook, anyways.
What do you attribute that view count to?
A lot of promotion, just being crafty with the way you market your material, and just pushing hard and grinding.
What's crafty in 2018?
Captions, photo captions, video captions, getting people interested in your product. The key is marketing to people without making them realize they're being marketed to.
I see. It's a little bit of backwards masking as well?
No, not necessarily, but in a sense, I guess, yeah. But it's less backhanded than that. It's more like just trying to get people interested in a way that instead of being like, hey, check out my band, you could be like, this is the new wave or something like that. And that is what makes people want to click on something and look at it.
And is your scene in Arizona similar to, are there other bands in your scene that are similar to the Dropout Kings?
Not really. There's maybe like 1 or 2 bands. It's predominantly like a heavy metal place, like more just like straight up metal, hardcore stuff. So we're somewhat of an anomaly, I guess you could say.
And it's not the easy route. You guys are definitely not necessarily breaking new ground, but you are to some degree, right?
Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, we're kind of putting our own spin on something that's been done a few times. But yeah, you're right. It's not the easiest thing to do, but at the same time, it's kind of the only way to break the mold these days is you got to really put yourself into the product and try to be as different and dynamic as you possibly can, because no one wants to listen to the same shit. They want something new eventually.
What led you to forming the Dropout Kings and creating this vision, if you will?
Yeah, so a couple of us were in another band called The Bad Chapter. I was in another band with him called We the Collectors, and then Eddie was a local rapper. And so basically, like after our old band, The Bad Chapter, broke up, I just decided, I was like, I want to do something just to stay relevant. Decided to make a YouTube cover of a Linkin Park song. I found him on an Arizona Underdog Cypher rap video, and I liked him. So I hit him up, and then we both did that video, and then it got a really good response. And then so we were like, let's make a band out of it. And then I hit up these guys, they got in it, and then before you know it, we were doing our thing. So it's kind of how it all started.
Cool. And you guys are on tour with OTEP and Ragdoll
Sunday.
Ragdoll Sunday. They're from England, right?
They're from Switzerland. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're kind of from all over the place. Switzerland and Cayman Islands, and Greece.
What has been some of the highlights off this tour?
Bogarts was a really fun venue in Cincinnati. That was probably like the best show so far. Just meeting new people has been really cool. We've met a lot of people, met a lot of good people. Just every day is a new experience. So, just new jokes, new laughs, new weird situations that happen. Just that kind of stuff is what makes tour really fun. And also exploring new places and everything. That's one of the best parts too.
And then on the flip side of that, what have been some of the lowlights of this tour?
Definitely. So the first 2 days of the tour, like 2 hours into the drive, our van broke down. Serpentine, what was the first one? Radiator. Yeah, so the radiator went out. So his dad's a mechanic. He had to drive like an hour to an hour and a half to fix that. Then once we got that fixed, we wound up missing the first show of this tour. And then we get that fixed, start driving again like another couple hundred miles, and then the serpentine belt breaks. And then it severed the 2 wires to the AC, so then we have no AC. So we missed the first 2 shows. But we pulled through it, and then now we're here right now. But yeah, man, it worked out. But yeah, every band has those struggles, happens to everybody.
No doubt. And your album dropped on Friday?
Correct.
And have you, obviously, has it leaked weeks in advance?
It pretty much did leak, but we got it locked down, and then a lot of them were dead links. But yeah, we thought it leaked way harder than it did. But yeah, so it in a way it kind of did, but it didn't really matter to me. As long as people that want the product are gonna buy it regardless. It doesn't matter if they're streaming it or whatever. Like, they're still gonna buy it if they support it. So at the end of the day, as long as people are listening to it, whatever.
Have you gotten any positive reviews from the leakers and the pirates?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, we did get some good reviews on that, so that's good, give people a little predisposition on it, I guess, but
not that that's an excuse to do that fucked up shit,
But, people, you can't stop it. It's the internet. I mean, you just got to accept it and adapt, and that's how you continue to exist in the industry.
And your generation has grown up in that world.
Yeah,
people of your generation.
Yeah, we don't know any different, so it's kind of a double-edged sword like anything else, really. But you just gotta, like I said, it's like any market, you adapt, and that's how you survive.
Who are your original influences, and who are your current inspirations and admirations, local or national?
Right, so my first inspiration was definitely Michael Jackson. That was like the first thing I ever started listening to. I like Phil Collins a lot. Way different than the stuff that we play, basically. I'm influenced by a lot of things, but predominantly those two. Who else, man? A lot of people, but those are the big ones, and probably like Elvis, Johnny Cash, stuff like that.
I think the band Linkin Park, like Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, a lot of stuff like that definitely is closer to home as far as everybody. We're all like a lot of different musicians as far as our personal influences, so I feel like we get a really good mix of everything. If you really listen to the album, there's little hints of a lot of different kind of stuff in it. So yeah, I feel like, but that's probably like the closest thing. Like Linkin Park's definitely a major influence. A lot of people compare us to Head PE too, and I personally have never listened to them, but I hear they got like a super dope style that we kind of build off of. So that's probably like an indirect influence. I probably heard them and didn't even know I was hearing them, what I'm saying, and just jam into it. So
do you think that artists and other entertainers, such as actors and athletes, should keep quiet about politics and social issues?
That's all up to them and how they want to portray themselves. And if people have a platform, it's okay to do your thing. But personally, I kind of want my music to be, or our music rather, to be an escape from all that political bullshit that's going on right now. I want people to come to our shows and party and have a good time and worry about all that stuff later and turn off CNN for 5 minutes, So I try not to get involved with that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously everybody has opinions on it and everything, but I try to stay out of it. I feel like we're all kind of on the same page with that. I mean, we do talk about certain things, but we don't get like too political really at all. Like, obviously there's everything isn't fair, and that's kind of the type of stuff that we talk about,
And what do you call your brand, your brand of music?
Trap metal, heavy trap, trapcore.
yeah,
Sound good?
Yeah.
that's good.
How familiar are you with OTEP and her message?
I've been listening to OTEP since I was a pretty young kid. But you know, we're getting to know her a little better on this tour and stuff. We're really good friends with everyone in her band and everything, so it's been cool, and I respect her message, you know, and all that stuff. It's her thing, you know, so she's doing her thing, you know, standing up for something, so I can respect people for that.
And just a couple more questions. What was the first music you bought? What was the first concert you saw? Where was it? And who was it?
All right, so the first 3 CDs I ever had were Smash Mouth, Nickelback, Silver Side Up, and Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory. And the first concert I ever went to was Shadows Fall, Slipknot, and Lamb of God, and I was 12.
Oh. What does rock and roll mean to you?
It's a lifestyle choice, I feel like, mainly. It's kind of a state of mind. It's kind of a societal reaction to, you know, outside stimuli type thing. But, you know, it kind of just, I mean, what does any word mean to anybody? You know, it's just a word and you put your own meaning to it. And I guess that's kind of the meaning that we put to that. But, you know, it's just, like I said, it's a lifestyle thing. It's a rebellion thing. It's a, you know, screw this, we're going to do what we want type deal.
Nice. Ditto?
I mean, yeah, I would say that. Kind of going back to the question you asked before, too, I think, you know, politics. I think music just is a platform. It's just human expression. People getting stuff off their chest, other people relating to it or not, but it's polarizing, and that's what's impactful, and that's what causes people to move, the vibration. So to me, rock is one of the genres that moves people the most physically. You know, your body starts moving, it's loud, it's in your face, it lets people know that you're here, you know what I'm saying, and you're relevant. So I think kind of in that space, I like rock and roll a lot. And to me, it's just a platform to let people know how you feel, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you don't always have to attack specific political things in particular, but you definitely need to let people know how you feel. And, you know, being a band, being a musician, you can speak for a lot of other people that don't get the chance to use their voice and be heard. So I think that's important, and rock and roll definitely can fill that role for a lot of people.